I took a few technical classes. I took C++ class as an elective at Tech, but just on a pass-fail basis. But I don't think I really had a very strong CS background before I came here.
I took an introductory computer science course as an undergrad, and I really didn't enjoy that much at all. So I started to learn about computers on my own, and I took a few self-paced tutorials in programming languages such as C, C++, and Perl, and I just had a very basic knowledge of programming concepts, but I've actually learned more since working here.
It depends where we are in the release process. When we're at the beginning of a release, when we're getting ready to revamp our product, I'm working on documentation plans and documentation schedules and figuring out what kind of new help enhancements we're going to add to our help. Once we're in the throes of the actual release, I'm actually documenting the features, I'm testing the product.
As a manager, I do a lot of strategy and planning, so on a given day I might be working on documentation plans, or trying to research new technologies to help us generate, store, and deliver documentation in an efficient and user-friendly manner.
I also spend a good portion of my day working on extracurricular activities. For one thing, I work on planning some of the social events that the TechCom department here at National Instruments has. We have like birthday parties and just sort of like social gatherings. So I spend some of my day working on that.
Technical editing is the foundation of our jobs here. It's our primary reason that we're here. We're experts in the language, and that's what we're counted on being. And editing also teaches you respect for other people's writing and how to deal with other writers, and we do a lot of that here.
Technical editing is important because most of the content that we receive from developers is far from press ready.
We found that engineers often are not very good in this technical communication role, so we need to find people that are good at it and that want to do it and help them succeed in that in order to make the company as a whole succeed.
It's very rough, and you have to have a good eye for problems in current content instead of actually writing original content. So you have to be able to find not just grammar mistakes, but issues with the way the content is laid out, issues with the way the sentences are worded.
The basics are strong attention to detail, strong editing skills, and an interest in what we do here and the technologies that we use. A little experience can really help too, so if you can find an internship or a side project you can do to help you gain more experience, that's really useful.
Here are my tips for interviewing. Number one, proofread your resume. Ask your professor, your friends, and the Career Center to proofread your resume. Your resume is the most important writing sample you will ever give a potential employer.
Make sure that your resume is perfect and up to snuff. A lot of companies, for any position, will kind of toss out any resumes that have more than 2 typos. When you think about the position you're interviewing for a technical writer position. So really your resume needs to be perfect.
Number 2, think quality, not quantity, when you're submitting writing samples or a portfolio. A recruiter is more impressed with 2 or 3 polished writing samples than they are with a bulging portfolio of work that's still in progress.
Pick the best 1 or 2 projects. Go back and make sure that you don't have any mistakes in those projects. It's okay to go back and review your work, and it's okay to edit a little bit and put those pieces in your portfolio. Really make sure that it's the absolute best thing that you can present.
Number 3, take the technical editing class and then practice all the skills that you learned in that class over and over and over so that you can be confident and you can ace the editing exam. Most companies, including NI, do test their technical writing candidates. And number 4, last but not least, be familiar with behavioral-based interviewing. We do ask behavioral-based interview questions.
As soon as I found out that the interview with National Instruments was going to be behavioral questions, in addition to other questions, but behavioral questions, was that I went online and I did some searching about what behavioral questions are, what kind of answers, like what are they trying to get out of the interviewee. And so that was probably the best thing that I did before I came and I interviewed with National Instruments.
A really important thing to me personally is enthusiasm for technology. In this job, if you don't like learning about new things and you don't get enjoyment from that, you're probably not going to enjoy your job very much. And if you don't enjoy your job, you're not going to do well at it, and I want to hire people that are going to do well. And if you don't enjoy your job, you're not going to help create the kind of environment where you're helping other people enjoy their jobs as well.
The environment at NI is very relaxed and laid back. At NI we all work in cubes, so everyone has a dedicated space for themselves, but it's very open. So if you have a question for someone, it's really easy to approach them the way the cubes are set up. Different groups have different layouts. The way mine is set up is I have walls, but some of the walls are taken out so that I can actually see the people who work around me. I like the fact that our cubes can be decorated however we want to, so I can put up pictures of my friends and family and artwork that I like, and other people, decorate with things that is more about their personality.
At National Instruments, a particular R&D group is responsible for a product or a set of product lines, or a product line, which is a group of products. So that means that each group is responsible for the design, development, testing, and release of a product. So the way that works with TechCom is that the TechCom members are actually embedded within the group. So for any given product group or product line group, you'll have one or more tech writers responsible for the documentation. So the important thing here to realize is that the TechCom folks sit directly with the engineers, work with them on a daily basis. So not only are the TechCom folks responsible for documentation, but we also ask them to become responsible for participating in that whole development, design, and release process.
It would be easier to answer what training opportunities are not available for technical writers at NI. Because really, if you want to learn more about programming, you can learn about programming. If you want to learn more about the tools that we use, you can learn about the tools that we use. If you want to learn more about usability testing, you can learn about usability testing. It's pretty much anything goes. Anyone can give you training in something. And if they can't, they have tuition reimbursement, so you can go take a class in it, and I will pay for it.
We're fortunate to have a lot of good training opportunities and experiences here, from product training and technical training to managerial training and tools training. And in fact, Business Week magazine ranked us number 14 among the 50 top places to launch your career because of our initiatives in training.